Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Simple English Talks. I'm so happy you're here with us today.
Hey there. It's great to see you all again. I actually had a really funny English mix-up yesterday, and I can't wait to tell you about it.
Oh no, what happened this time?
I'll tell you in a minute. But first, let's talk about today's topic, because it connects perfectly.
Today, we're diving into real-life English dialogue practice. Slow, easy conversations that you'll actually use every single day.
By the end of this episode, you'll be able to start conversations, ask simple questions, and respond naturally without feeling nervous.
That sounds amazing, right? So grab a coffee, get comfortable, and let's get started.
Before we do, tell us in the comments where you're listening from today. We love seeing that.
And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button on Simple English Talks. It really helps us keep making these episodes for you.
Okay, so back to my story. I tried to order coffee yesterday and I said something so strange.
Wait, what did you say?
I'll save it for later in the episode. It's the perfect example of a common mistake.
Now I'm really curious.
All right, let's jump into our first real-life skill: everyday greetings and small talk.
Let's start with something simple. When you meet someone, the first thing you usually say is a greeting.
Makes sense. It's the first thing anyone hears from you, so it really sets the tone.
The structure is easy. Greeting plus question. For example, "Hi, how are you?"
Exactly. And here are a few natural ways to say it. Hey, how's it going? Good morning, how are you today? And, hi there, how have you been?
I use "How's it going?" with my friends all the time. It feels much more relaxed than "How are you?"
That's a great point. Can you two picture using that with a coworker versus a close friend?
Right, with a coworker, I might say, "Good morning, how are you today?" It sounds a little more polite.
Now here's something important. If someone asks how you are, what's a natural response?
You can say, "I'm good, thanks. How about you?" Notice how we ask the question right back. That's very natural in English.
What if you're not doing great? You don't always have to say, I'm good.
True. You can say, "I'm okay, a bit tired today." Or, "Not bad, just a busy week."
Try saying one of these out loud right now, even if no one's listening.
Now, let's talk about the negative or less common responses, like when things aren't going well.
Good idea, because we can't always say, I'm great, right? Sometimes we're just not.
You might hear, "I've been better," or, "Honestly, it's been a rough day." These are honest, natural answers.
Can you think of a time this week when you'd use one of these phrases?
Definitely. I said, "I've been better, just this morning after spilling my tea everywhere."
Oh no, that's exactly the kind of real moment where this English comes in handy.
It really does. Small talk feels small, but it's actually the foundation of every conversation.
I completely agree. Once you're comfortable with small talk, everything else feels easier too.
There's also a fun, very casual version you'll hear among younger speakers. "What's up?"
Right, and the typical reply isn't really an answer at all. People just say, not much, you?
It sounds strange at first, but once you hear it a few times, it starts to feel completely normal.
So, to sum up this section, greet someone, ask how they are, respond naturally, and ask the question back. Simple, but powerful.
Now let's build on that. Once you've said hello, what comes next in a real conversation? Usually, it's asking for or giving information.
Right, this could be asking for directions, asking about opening hours, or even asking where the bathroom is.
A really common one is asking for directions. For example, "Excuse me, how do I get to the train station?"
That's such a practical one. I feel like everyone needs this phrase eventually, no matter where they travel.
Notice we start with, "Excuse me." That's a polite way to get someone's attention.
Here's a quick example dialogue. Excuse me, is the pharmacy near here? Yes, it's just around the corner, next to the bank.
See how simple that is? Short questions, short answers.
Now let's compare formal and informal versions. With a stranger, you'd say, "Excuse me, could you tell me where the station is?"
But with a friend, you might just say, "Hey, where's the station again?" Much more casual.
Let's try a quick practice. Imagine you're lost in a new city. What would you say to a stranger?
I'd probably say, "Excuse me, I'm a bit lost. Could you help me find the bus stop?"
That's perfect. Polite, clear, and easy to understand.
Here are a few tips. First, always start with, "Excuse me," for strangers. Second, keep your questions short and direct. Third, say "thank you" at the end, even if the answer is short.
Those 3 tips will take you a long way in real conversations.
Try writing your own example in the comments. Something like asking for directions to a place near you.
I love seeing your comments, by the way. It really helps us know what to teach next.
One more thing. If you don't understand the answer, you can say, "Sorry, could you repeat that?" Or, "Sorry, could you say that more slowly?"
That's such a useful phrase. Native speakers won't mind at all if you ask them to slow down.
Definitely not. We'd much rather you ask than feel confused. One more useful phrase is asking about time or hours, like, "What time does the store open?"
And the answer is usually just as short. It opens at 9, or it's open until 6 today.
Notice we don't need long sentences at all. Short and clear is always better than long and confusing. Now for our third real-life skill. Let's talk about polite requests, like ordering food or asking for something in a shop.
Now for our third real-life skill. Let's talk about polite requests, like ordering food or asking for something in a shop. Oh, this is where my coffee story fits perfectly. I was so close, but not quite right.
A simple, everyday example is ordering coffee. "Can I get a small coffee, please?"
Here's a full example. "Hi, can I get a medium latte, please?" "Sure, for here or to go?" "To go, please."
Notice how short and natural that is. No extra words, just what you need.
A great tip for politeness is adding please at the end, not just the beginning. It sounds more natural in spoken English.
That's such a good point. "Can I get a coffee, please?" sounds more natural than, "Please, can I get a coffee?" in casual speech.
Tone matters too. If you speak too fast or too flat, it can sound rude, even if your words are polite.
So smiling while you speak, even on the phone, actually changes your tone in a good way.
Let's do a quick practice. Imagine you're at a shop and you want to try on a jacket.
I'd say, "Excuse me, could I try this on, please?"
Perfect. And if they ask your size, you could say, "I usually wear a medium."
Try saying that response out loud right now. It really helps your mouth get used to the words.
Here's another common one. Asking for the bill at a restaurant. "Could we get the bill, please?"
Some people also say, "Check, please," especially in the US. Both work well.
This is exactly where my coffee mistake happened yesterday.
Okay, tell us now.
I meant to say, "Can I get a coffee to go?" But I said, "Can I get a coffee to leave?" The barista looked so confused.
That's hilarious, but such a small, understandable mistake. One last tip. If you don't know the exact word for something, you can just describe it. "Do you have the thing for washing dishes?" Works fine.
Native speakers really appreciate that effort. Nobody expects a perfect vocabulary, just clear communication.
Exactly. Confidence matters more than having every single word memorized.
It really is. So let's review this section. Keep your requests short, add please naturally, and watch your tone.
Speaking of mistakes, let's be honest, we all make them, even after years of speaking English.
So true. I still catch myself making mistakes sometimes, even after years of teaching.
One common mistake is translating word for word from your own language, like my coffee story.
Another one is mixing up "how are you" with "how do you do." The second one sounds very old-fashioned now.
Let's look at incorrect versus correct. Incorrect. I am agree with you. Correct. I agree with you.
We say I agree, not I am agree, because agree is already a verb, not an adjective.
Another common mistake is saying pleased to meet you instead of nice to meet you or pleased to meet you.
These little words matter, but don't worry, native speakers usually still understand you perfectly.
One of my funniest mistakes was saying I have hunger instead of I'm hungry. My friend just laughed and said, same.
See, mistakes like this often just lead to funny, friendly moments, not embarrassment.
Try this. Think of one mistake you've made in English and share it in the comments. We'd love to laugh with you, not at you.
Making mistakes means you're actually practicing and using the language, which is the most important part.
Exactly. Every mistake is proof that you're trying, and that's something to be proud of.
I love that mindset. It really takes the pressure off, doesn't it?
There's also a mix-up with borrow and lend. People often say, can you borrow me your pen? But it should be, can you lend me your pen?
That one trips up a lot of learners. Borrow means you're taking something, and lend means you're giving something.
Easy trick. If you're the one receiving, use borrow. If you're the one giving, use lend.
Remember, mistakes are normal, they're funny, and they help you learn faster than staying silent ever could.
Now, let's practice together with a quick activity. I'll give you 2 sentences, and you choose the more natural one.
Number 1, how you are, or how are you? The second one is correct, how are you? The word order matters a lot in English questions.
Number 2, can I have please a coffee? Or, can I have a coffee please?
Definitely the second one. Please usually goes at the end in casual spoken requests.
Number 3, excuse me, where is the bathroom? Or, where is the bathroom, you?
Clearly the first one. Starting with excuse me makes it polite and clear.
Say your answers out loud before I tell you the next one. It really helps your speaking muscles.
Let's try a slightly formal variation. Imagine you're speaking to your boss instead of a friend.
Instead of, hey, got a sec? You might say, excuse me, do you have a moment?
Now here's a challenge for you. Pause the episode and create one sentence using something we practiced today.
Don't worry about making it perfect, just try it. That's what real conversation is all about.
Progress matters so much more than perfection, especially when you're speaking a new language.
Wow, we've covered so much today, and I'm really proud of everyone listening for sticking with us.
Let's quickly recap the 3 big things we learned today. First, everyday greetings and small talk.
Second, asking for and giving information, like directions or opening hours.
And third, making polite requests, like ordering food or asking questions in shops.
You now have real, practical phrases you can use today, not just textbook sentences.
Which one of these will you try first? Let us know in the comments below.
And don't forget to like this episode, share it with a friend who's learning English, and subscribe to Simple English Talks.
We truly love creating these episodes for you, and your comments genuinely make our day.
Keep practicing, keep speaking out loud, and remember, mistakes are just part of the journey.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us today. We really appreciate you.
Take care, keep smiling, and keep learning.
See you next time.